USA.
Yo 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 yo.
Charlamagne the guy.
Peace to the planet. It's Thursday.
Yes, it's Thursday. We got our special guest co-host Roxy Romero.
No, get my name right, Envy.
What?
Romeo.
Damn.
I don't know why I wanted to say Romero.
Lord.
It's crazy.
I don't know why I wanted to say Romero.
Just adding rolling
I know.
R's.
I wanted to roll my R this morning. Roxy
crazy.
Romeo.
Thank you.
Good morning, Roxy.
Good morning.
Okay, candles lit, everything.
So what? Oh, yeah.
Oh, so they
that's
spelled my
different.
name wrong. That's
Yeah,
okay.
It got Romero on the list.
So Roxy been iHeart Mafia all these years, and they still getting your last name
Yeah,
wrong?
yeah.
Damn.
I just say Roxy. Just Roxy Romeo. That's what I say. Romeo.
Y'all know Roxy. Roxy been doing mornings in Philadelphia for how long now?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years. Power 99.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
How you feeling, Roxy?
I'm good.
You all right?
Blessed to be alive. Blessed to be here.
Roxy was like, so wait a minute. I don't need my laptop or a Chromebook. Like, people bring the stories to me. I'm like, that just started. That wasn't like that all the time. It just started, but yeah.
I've always still used my laptop.
But we still do our research
I
just in
feel
case.
very naked right now, not having my laptop or my Chromebook in
No,
front of me.
you need to, because they'll set you up. They'll say there's audio, there's no audio. You know, they'll tell you that somebody's name is not their name, but
Yes.
you know.
And you might have your own notes throughout the show that
That's
you might
right.
want to type out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, today's going to be an action-packed show. The champ, the Charlamagne went against.
First of all,
Terrence Crawford will be joining us this morning. Drop a bomb for Terrence Crawford.
Drop one of Clues bombs for Terrence Crawford. Here's the thing about Terrence Crawford. Everybody knows Terrence Crawford is great. But what y'all don't realize is Earl Spence is great too. Okay? So that was a pick-me fight. I've been picking Earl Spence for several years. Way before, everybody jumped on the bandwagon the last few weeks before the fight.
You told that man he wasn't big enough.
That's right.
You told that man he wasn't strong enough.
That's right.
You told that man, what you gonna do with Errol Spence? Put those biceps on you.
I didn't say all that, but yes, I did.
And I want you
I was proven wrong.
Nah, I want you to have that same energy when he walks in here.
Why would I have the same energy? The fight's over.
Okay.
Earl Spence lost. Okay, we saw what happened.
All right.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
I don't think he's coming up here to promote another fight. I think
He's on his victory. He's on his victory lap.
That's right.
He's on his revenge tour. He wants to look everybody in the eyes
That's
who
right.
said he was going to lose and make him apologize.
That's right.
I know how this is going to go.
Oh, you can apologize.
I got to think about it.
Okay.
I got to think about it. Got to see if he still look in shape from the fight.
Also, Jeezy will be joining us.
That's
We're going
right.
to be kicking it with Jeezy. He has a book that drops. It's out now.
It's out right now. Adversity for Sale. I was with Jeezy last night, too. We was at the Schomburg Center in Harlem. We had a conversation about his book, Adversity for Sale. We're going to have another conversation about the book this morning on The Breakfast Club.
All right. Now, Roxy, you just jump right in. You ain't got to wait. You feel something. You just don't just, you see the Gusbins up here. You just want to jump. Just jump
I
in.
don't have anything for the boxers. I don't have anything for Jeezy at the moment. I didn't read the book. Soon.
Soon come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get the show cracking. Front page news next. Teslin Figueroa will be joining us. She'll break us down on what's happening out there. So don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest co-host, Roxy Romeo.
Thank you.
Is it
NV.
Romeo or Romeo?
No,
She
it's
already told
Romeo.
You said it was Romeo. Was she?
I did not.
What did he say?
What's going on here?
You punking me this morning?
So
You're
Romeo
punking
is like Hispanic. I am not Hispanic. So it is not Romeo.
Oh, it's Romeo.
It is Romeo.
You all alone in here. You the only Hispanic in here.
I'm not Hispanic. I'm fully black.
Oh, no, Red's Puerto Rican.
Red is Puerto Rican, but I'm fully black, you ass. All right, well, let's get right into front page news. Good morning, Teslin Figueroa.
Yo, you really want to roll your R's today?
He really wants to roll his R's.
For no reason. Man.
What's up, Tez?
Nothing much. Good morning, DJ Envy. Good morning, Roxy Beautiful.
Good
and
morning.
Charlamagne the Guy.
Peace, Tez.
All right, well, let's jump right into DeSantis. What's happening with DeSantis?
Yeah, you'll see this this morning on a lot of the national shows. Yesterday, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis suspended State Attorney Monique Worrell of Central Florida effective immediately. Now, she was a state attorney for the Ninth Judicial Circuit. She appeared in a news conference yesterday to speak out on the governor's decision to suspend her. Let's take a listen. We'll talk about it on the other side.
If we're mourning anything this morning, it is the loss of democracy. Under this tyranny, elected officials can be removed simply for political purposes and by a whim of the governor. And no matter how you feel about me, you should not be okay with that.
And that's not the first time, right? It's like the second.
Mm-hmm.
You're absolutely right. It is the second time, actually. He removed a prosecutor, Andrew Warren, about a year ago because he did not agree with him signing a pledge to not ban abortions after 15 weeks. And so I'm glad you asked that, Charlamagne, because I was just looking that up. And he's tried to challenge that and hasn't gotten anywhere with that challenge as well. So she mentioned, Ms. Worrell said that she's been duly elected, and you can't just come in and be a dictator and say, hey, we just, we want to do, we don't like the way you move. The whole point of having an elected official is that you beat them at the polls. And just as a point of clarity, she says that she disagrees with his decision. Crime has been down since she's taken her position, and she's promised everything she said she would do.
Did he say why he wanted to remove her?
Yeah, he did. He said that he wanted to remove her because she avoided issuing mandatory minimum sentences for gun crimes and drug trafficking offenses, that she did not follow patterns and practices allowing juvenile defenders to avoid incarceration. She issued a lot of those diversion programs, the one that Hunter Biden is under, by the way. So she issued a lot of those, so that people don't go to jail and they can actually have a chance to correct themselves. But that, as we know, that's a conservative, liberal policy that a lot of conservatives don't agree with. But again, she disagrees with that. And I just want to put out a side note. Orange County, that's kind of like my political stomping ground. And the previous state attorney that was there, Maris Ayala, Rick Scott always tried to get her out of office as well. She had a really tough time. I don't know if you remember that, but he gave her a really tough time because she didn't agree with the death penalty. And so she didn't run for election this last time. And this is how Monique got the position, who won, by the way, by 66% overwhelmingly. So this particular state attorney position has always been something that conservatives have went after to remove. And these two women just happen to be African-American women.
And Ted, even though, Ron DeSantis moves like a dictator, we know that America is not a dictatorship, right? So Florida has to have a constitution, right?
Right.
That protects her from stuff like this, right? I would assume.
Well, again, that's the whole point. The executive order, just being able to say, hey, I don't think you're following the law as you should. You're allowing criminals to go free. And that's why this is such a big issue. It's usually a higher bar set to remove an elected official. Maybe they got caught with a crime. Maybe, they actually did something. And so there's nothing that literally says what you can't. That's the whole power of an executive order. It allows you to kind of do whatever you want to do. But usually it's with somebody that has a little bit more, I guess, sense, if you will. They said, just to be honest with you, Charlamagne, that this is all about him trying to pump some more life into his campaign, because his campaign is doing terrible right now. As we know, he did another staff shakeup this week. And this is just a way to say, hey, conservatives or Trumpers or whoever else, I'm willing to be the dictator that I need to be, if I were to be president.
Yeah, but Ron DeSantis is trying to change the law himself. I cannot stand him.
I wish Monique, when she did the press conference yesterday, she would have had at least 3 people just in there holding folding chairs.
Just don't stand by.
Holding them, you know what I mean? Just holding them. And when somebody say, why y'all holding those? It's like, oh, nothing. And then they just put them down and sit them. That's
they make them with beams on them now. They got beams on the folding chairs now.
Really?
Yeah, so for accuracy.
Ooh, I like that.
All right. Well, that is front page news. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. Tez, we'll see you in a couple of minutes. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Get it up. This is your time to get it off your chest. Keep calling. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, what's up, Envy?
What's up, Trav?
Charlamagne.
Peace, Trav. What's up, my brother? Or my sister?
What's going on, girl? How you, baby?
I'm blessed, black, and highly favored, man.
A lot of flirting this morning.
It's not flirting. I'm talking to my sister.
He said, how you doing, baby? And you said, I'm good.
Okay,
ain't nobody flirting. Envy, you jealous?
Yeah,
exactly.
I am.
Come on, Trav.
Yep.
Who y'all co-host?
Come on, how you from Philly and you don't know who our co-host is? You being disrespectful.
Oh, Roxy!
What's going on?
I did see that on. I saw that on the Breakfast Club page. What's up, girl? How you, baby?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Well, let me not call you baby because Charlamagne might get jealous. Envy might get jealous at this point.
I don't get jealous when you call women baby. Now you call another man baby. We
That's
might
a
have
different story. That's right.
But I'm calling to say one thing. That man that was out there smacking white women around with the chair, Brother, if you listening, do not turn yourself in. They trying to set you up.
They already know his name,
They
Trav.
know his name. They spoke to him already.
Yeah, they can go get him if they want to.
No, come to Philly. He can come stay with me for a little bit.
Whoa.
You show him how to use that chair the right way, huh?
What?
That man too old for you.
Here y'all go with y'all wearing is fine.
Bye. Hello, who's this?
Hey, good morning, Envy. How you doing? Sean Stone, man.
Sean Stone, what's up, brother? Get it off your chest.
Man, you definitely the bottom because Trav was the top just now. He called first.
Oh, my goodness. I'm not going to engage with you, Charlamagne. Not today.
Okay.
Not today, buddy. Hey, shout out to Roxy. Romeo?
Yes, thank you for getting it right.
That's right.
Yeah, you know I got you, beautiful. Yo, it's crazy out here. At 4:30 in the morning, everybody know I drive a sanitation truck. I saw a crime out here. Somebody break into somebody's box truck, man.
Why you ain't blow the horn or something? Call the police.
Nah, I had to call the police.
There
I called
you
the
go.
police.
There you
Did
go.
he get caught?
But I wish I had a full insurance, Charlamagne.
You wish you had Nathaniel Alexander's invention? I'm telling you.
The only reason why I didn't go up the dude, I didn't know if he was strapped or not, but it was a white male. He had on a handkerchief around his face, man.
I'm glad you said that, Sean. I don't want us to get too gassed up over the folding chairs, okay? there's still people out here with guns.
Yes, that is true.
Okay? All right.
I know. That's why I didn't attack. I just called the authorities on the perpetrator. Does that make me a snitch?
No, it makes you a civilian.
Nah, you're not in crime. You're a sanitation worker.
Y'all put a clues bomb for me, man.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Concerned civilian, and you're a sanitation worker.
That's
You
right.
are doing your public duties this morning.
Absolutely.
Sean.
I didn't hear the clue bomb.
It went off. You got to listen closer.
It'll play. It'll play. You'll hear it.
Yeah. Hello, who's this?
Yo, Roxy, your voice got me turned on, girl. I can't even eat my breakfast. It's big chocolate, the toe sucker. How your toes looking, good or crusty?
Ooh, okay. That's a greeting. Good morning.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, my. You in town from Philly, huh? How them toes looking?
My toes are very, very cute.
Hey, yo,
Now put them up to the camera and wiggle them for us.
I don't know
baby.
about that. You might have to pay for it.
He's a wild boy. He don't even say good morning. He
He
just
don't
gets to the
say good
sexual
morning.
harassment. He
Just
don't even say good morning. Just to get right to the sexual harassment. Jesus Christ.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
It's a new day.
This is your time to get it off your chest.
Wake up.
Whether you're mad or blessed.
It's time to get up and get something.
Call up now. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
In regards to Leonard McKelvey,
Yeah, that now.
we, the black delegation, we find that you have violated the name, image, and likeness of the great brother Morris Chestnut. You have been stripped of your Morris Chestnut lookalike card. You have officially been demoted to Samuel Jackson or Wayne Brady. The choice is yours. Thank you.
I mean, he's talking truth. Like, you've been talking about you look like Morris Chestnut for the longest, and I think that's disrespectful to Morris Chestnut.
I just want to know, do y'all eat breakfast first? You know what I'm saying? Or do y'all just call in wild? You know what I mean? Do y'all stretch before y'all wake up in the morning?
Nothing wrong with what he said.
Any prayers, any daily affirmations? Just like, let's get right to it at 6 in the morning.
There's nothing wrong with what he said.
These guys are crazy.
What? There's nothing wrong.
Oh my
Hello,
God.
who's this?
Hi, this is Lauren.
Hey, Lauren. Good morning. Get it off your chest, mama.
So I'm actually back right now because I'm working about a few hours. Celebrating 35th birthday tomorrow.
Oh, your
And
birthday's
with,
tomorrow.
Yeah. And with the same day as 50th birthday of hip hop, I'm trying to see where does it go?
Your phone sounds so crazy. All I heard was that your birthday's tomorrow and it's the same day as the 50th
I
anniversary.
thought she
of
said
hip-hop.
her phone is as old as hip hop.
My phone might be that old as
I thought
hip-hop.
you said her phone is 50 years old.
They sound like it.
No, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes.
way better.
All right, perfect. I was trying to see where to go to celebrate when I arrived today in Symantha.
We
Oh,
go
they
to
got
New York?
Yeah, they got a big show. What's the show?
Oh, at Yankee Stadium.
Yankee Stadium, yeah.
Yeah, they got a big show at Yankee Stadium. 50's performing tonight at the Barclays. If you want to do that, a great restaurant to go to in Manhattan is Brooklyn Chop House. You can go. It's black owned. Well, yeah, some black owned. It's a percentage of black owned.
This Friday is the Hip Hop 50 live at Yankee Stadium. Run DMC is the headliners. Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne, Ice Cube, Nas, Cameron, Wiz Khalifa, a bunch of people on that show.
Yeah, so you can check that out. Brooklyn Chop House. So you can go anywhere in Brooklyn to get some great Caribbean food too, if you love that.
Yeah, because I made a reservation for Lamo BK for tomorrow night. I think that's Black on the Caribbean as well.
Okay. Well, enjoy and you have a great birthday, mama.
Thank you.
They got a Queens of Hip Hop set. They got Eve and Little Kim, Remy Ma, Trina. They got a Pillars of Hip Hop set with
definitely
Cool
know
Herc.
this show.
Yeah, Curtis Blow. It's a big show tomorrow.
It's going to be dope. All right. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, you can hit us up now. We have a Roxy Romeo here. She's doing the rumors this morning. Give us a little tease of what we're talking about coming up.
We are talking Billy Porter. Unfortunately, this strike has hit him and he has to sell his house.
Jesus Christ. All right. We'll talk about it when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
I need some breakfast. My equilibrium off. I'm bumping in the wall, stumbling. Feel like Dianne Feinstein around this mother effer.
Oh, my gosh.
Mercy.
Morning, everybody. We are
Joe
The Breakfast
Biden
Club.
What the hell's going on?
We got our special guest co-host. We have Roxy Romeo with us.
Roxy!
And let's get to the rumors. Let's go.
Hello.
Let's say Roxy.
This is the Rumor Report.
It's Roxy Romeo.
Roxy been iHeart Mafia all these years.
Let's say Roxy.
If you want to know if something is like cool or if it's hip, the only way that you're going to know is if somebody from the culture, the black culture, co-signs it.
On The Breakfast Club. Turn it up.
I literally cannot with that intro.
Taylor Gang.
Oh
Taylor
my
Gang
God.
right there.
Like, that was put together so quickly. Like, how y'all even got that clip of me?
No, we work. We work.
Ain't no we.
Okay,
That's Taylor.
Can I take you to Philly?
We work up here. Shout out to Taylor.
Sometimes
Thank you, Taylor.
Sometimes I want somebody to take her, but no.
Every once in a while.
We
Every
need our
once in a
Taylor.
while. Yeah, every once in a while.
All right, so Billy Porter, you know that this SAG-AFTRA strike has been going on for, weeks at this point. And unfortunately, it has hit Billy Porter in a hard way. He announced that he has to sell his home because he is not working. He said that he had been in the process of filming a show, a movie, and all of that has stopped. And because he's not making quote-unquote FU money, he's been living paycheck to paycheck, and now he cannot afford his mortgage.
God bless Billy Porter. Hate to see him or anybody in that situation. But the actor strike hasn't been going on that long. So if you already at the
It's
point...
been a month, right?
Well, that's why he said he was living paycheck to paycheck
That's what
to
I'm
support
saying.
his lavish lifestyle.
If you're already at the point where you have to sell your house and you wasn't managing your money correctly before, he was living check to check. That's not Hollywood's fault, is it?
No, that is not Hollywood's fault. But a lot of times we cash checks before they actually get to us, you know? And it could have been one of those things. Maybe he purchased a house because he knew he was doing this movie and he knew he was going to get a big check. And this was the house that he caught at the right time, and he purchased it, and he's waiting for that check to come, and then it just doesn't come.
Yeah, but he got money from Broadway. You know,
Yeah, he did.
He got money from TV shows.
Correct.
Movies. You're in that situation after only a couple months.
Yeah, but we
you wasn't
don't
managing your money correctly.
Or we also don't know what he's spending his money on. We don't know if he's holding down family members, if he's helping other people, if he's like it's a bitch when you're expecting something to come in and then it doesn't. You know, because he had a couple of movies on the plane. We don't know if those movies were worth a couple of $1 million, but yeah, it sucks.
I mean, he literally said, I live paycheck to paycheck because I want to live this lavish lifestyle. Like, he literally said that.
Well, you should be more frugal.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? You can't go chasing waterfalls. Sometimes you got to stick to the Nissans and the Altimas you used to. For real. Like, what's wrong? I don't know. But you're talking to frugal Vandross over here. Because I've been unemployed 4 times. I've been in that unemployment line. You know, I know what that feels like. So I don't want to go back.
Or you got to make great investments. Remember, I've been in this industry since 17, and you know, some investments pay off, some investments don't. But you know, you just want to put yourself in a position where you do get monthly income from other things, just in case something does not.
I agree. Or just save your money.
Or just save
Multiple
your
streams
money.
of income.
Yeah, but I hear people say they live a lavish lifestyle. Do you have to?
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Like, do you have to?
No.
Okay.
All right, so moving on. Yesterday, 50 had his final lap tour at the Barclays, and apparently he brought out a slew of celebrities. Who did you say you brought out, MB?
I seen he brought out A Boogie. I seen he brought out The Baby, and he brought out J. Cole, which was pretty dope.
And so J. Cole made a pretty big statement about 50's album. I think we have audio.
If y'all don't make some noise for one of the greatest to ever do this 50 Curtis Jackson. Get rich Richard Die Trying, the best album of all time. I don't give a what you talking about. It's Get Rich or Die Trying at number 1, and it's Thriller at number 2. And I love Michael Jackson, but I promise y'all that Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent, we love you, man. For real. New York City, good night.
Let's be clear, that's just an opinion. And that's J. Cole's opinion. Okay? I love Get Rich or Die Trying too. But Thriller is Thriller, bro. All right? Thriller sold over 100 million albums. There's nothing that's Thriller.
Yeah, that's his opinion. But 50's album, when it comes to hip-hop, is definitely in my top 5 hip-hop albums.
Agreed.
Hip-hop, yes.
Hip-hop.
Absolutely.
But when you go outside of hip-hop, Thriller is definitely in there. Outside of that, who else is in there?
Thriller is the bar. You know what I mean? By the way, that's once again, that's J. Cole's opinion.
Absolutely.
If he thinks Get Rich or Die Trying is better than Thriller, I'm not going to tell him no different, but that's his opinion.
But definitely top 5. That album changed a lot in this hip-hop.
That's a great hip-hop album.
In this hip-hop world. So that's definitely top 5. One of my top 5.
I just don't like when people try to revise history, man. There's a lot of kids listening. First of all, you shouldn't even be comparing 50 Cent and Michael Jackson.
That's a little weird.
That's just silly.
One is pop, R&B, the other
That's what I'm saying. That's just silly. Like, that's just a silly comparison.
But that's the albums to him, though.
But then kids will repeat that because they heard J. Cole say, Get Rich or Die Trying is better than Thriller. No, then when I tell you to shut your little stupid ass up, you can call me old. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and they've never heard Thriller before.
Never even heard Thriller. Thriller sold 100 million plus copies. Okay, when people had to get up and walk to the record stores and drive to the record stores, that's different.
Oh my God,
That's
times have
different,
changed.
Yeah, well, 50 was that during that time when people had to go. There was no streaming.
100 million. Yes, listen to what I'm saying to you.
Oh no,
sold
nothing beats 100
100 million plus albums, bro.
Nothing beats 100 million.
Come on, stop.
And that was like the hard way, not the easy way.
Yes, man.
Not the now way.
And we love Get Rich or Die Trying, classic, but that was just a silly comparison, J. Cole.
All right, so do we have time for Lizzo?
Yep.
Okay, so you know that Lizzo is facing a lawsuit. Initially, it was from 3 of her former dancers, sexual harassment, racial discrimination, religious discrimination, all kind of discrimination. But apparently the lawyer has now been talking to more of her former dancers. So at least 6 more have now come forward claiming that same exact things. So it's getting worse for Lizzo by the minute.
Yeah, the sad thing about this is we don't know if she's guilty or not. A lot of people are already basically saying she's guilty, which is not right. And lawsuits are like this. Once one person puts out a lawsuit and people find a way to get some quick cash, people are copy and paste that same lawsuit over and over and over and over again.
They think check's about to be cut.
Exactly. And if it's the same attorney is going to try to get everybody in the same thing to make his case look stronger. We've seen it before.
So you don't think that if somebody ends up having multiple people come forward, there can't be some truth to it?
It could be.
Not in this day and age.
It could be, but it also could be cap. It also could be a money grab. It also could be people chasing money. Like I've seen it happen a zillion and one times.
Like
I used to believe it when it was multiples, but now it's like not in this day and age. I see the play. I've seen the play too much.
Not that I'm trying to go off topic, but like a Bill Cosby. How many women came forward?
That's different though. That's when I believed it. You know what I mean? That's different. But nowadays, when you see things like this with the Lizzo situation, we've seen these lawyers do this all the time. Sometimes they put the story out that it's multiples and nobody else comes forward.
And then you see another email that says,
they lie about it.
And then you see an email, if you've been affected, please contact us. I've seen that.
I've seen it a million. I've seen it too many times, man. I've seen it too many times. And they do the same thing with people all the time.
Absolutely.
Not just with Lizzo. There's a couple other people I've seen it happen to recently in the last couple of months. Multiple accusers have come forward and you never even see the other accusers. They just put that out in the press. Because they try to make Lizzo's team fold. They want Lizzo's team to go
cut
ahead and cut the check.
Right.
Well, listen,
it's almost like a smear campaign.
It's
now.
working.
Almost. It is.
It's working because Made in America got canceled, and I am almost 99% sure that part of that was because she was a headliner.
I don't think so. I think that was low ticket sales.
I think that had to do with it too.
I think it was low ticket sales.
I think it was low ticket sales because they could have found somebody bigger than Lizzo. I think.
You think?
I think so.
Who's bigger than Lizzo?
At this point?
A lot of people. Artist-wise.
Yeah, but at this point, like a month away?
Man, what's wrong with y'all, man? Y'all gotta cut this out, okay?
What?
See, this why people don't be liking us. You know?
What? I just asked you a question. Who's bigger than Lizzo?
There was no need for that. There was no need for that.
All right. Well, that is your rumor report. Now, when we come back, we got front page news. Teslin Figueroa will be joining us, and then Jeezy will be here. So don't move. It's the Breakfast Club on BET.
Can't be wrong.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
With audio titles on business, fitness, motivation, and more, Audible keeps your imagination pumped and ready to hit new goals. Check out all the audiobooks, podcasts, and originals you could want and sign up for 30 days free at audible.com/breakfast.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our special guest host, Roxy, Romeo, with us, of course, from Philly's Power 99. And let's get back into some front page news. Now, we got to discuss the senator that fell at her home, right?
Yeah, once again, yesterday, U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein, the oldest member of Congress, fell in her home and went to the hospital. Now, the 90-year-old California Democrat has faced mounting concerns about her health and her ability to perform her duties as a senator. As you guys know, we've covered this story a couple of times on Front Page News. Earlier this year, she missed several months of work because she was hospitalized for the shingles virus and its side effects. Now, since she has returned to work in May, she has been traveling the Capitol literally in a wheelchair, believing in the I'm going to roll until the wheels fall off, literally and figuratively. And so that has bothered people as well. And she appeared confused and disoriented. Remember, you guys, when we covered that story, how they had to literally come whisper in her ear to tell her to say yes to a vote on the defense budget. Now, since then, her daughter has become her power of attorney. And so folks are saying again, you know, should she resign now or wait until next year when she leaves office? She has said she won't be running again for re-election. But what do you guys think?
She shouldn't resign. They should retire her. Come on, man. It's over. How much more do we need to see? Save her from herself, all right? Democrats have to cut it out. Like, you rolling her around in a wheelchair. She falling at the house. It's over, guys. It's over, gals. Like, come on. Let's stop being stupid here.
Not trying to be funny. Do they still have those braces that you push in the police come? Because I don't see the commercials anymore.
I fall and I can't
get up. Yeah, do they still have that?
I don't know.
I'm sure it exists.
The life alert?
Yeah, the life alert.
Sure
I don't see it anymore on TV. Because usually you see it all the time. I fall and I can't get up. But I'm just wondering because I don't see that anymore.
All you liberals out there, I don't want to hear y'all talk about this is ageist. No, this has nothing to do with ageist. She clearly is not capable of doing her job anymore physically. I don't know about mentally, but definitely not physically. Let the woman ride off into the sunset without all the stress.
There needs to be an age limit.
Yes.
There's I don't know what the age limit should be, but there has got to be an age limit where once you hit this point, you need to just retire.
Yes, man. Like
another way to get around that is having term limits, which I support. You know, term limits for everybody. You know, which we need for many reasons. But you're absolutely right. This is ridiculous. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it. Like you mentioned last time, Charlamagne, you said that the vote should have been stricken from the record, and I agree. You know, this is just ridiculous. Somebody has to whisper in your ear to tell you how to vote because you're confused.
Yeah, I mean, you got to treat yourself like an athlete, right? Athletes know when to walk away. Imagine if they didn't. Imagine if people was in the NBA rolling around in wheelchairs on the court, you know what I mean? Or coming out old, falling out on the court.
Well, some athletes don't know, but they get cut. Like, you know what I mean? The team owners cut them. Yeah. Managers and coaches have to cut them because they just can't play, and then they have to go to other leagues.
She needs to be cut. She should not be allowed to resign next year.
Right.
Like, they need to make an executive decision and say, we love you, but it's time.
Now, let's talk about why people are waking up tired.
Yeah, I hope you guys love it too. I love covering stuff in health news. And I just saw this report and I thought about you, Envy, this week. You were talking about, you know, the kids and how, you know, we got to keep them on a schedule. And so just want to throw out a couple of tips that if you are sleeping 7 to 8 hours a day and you're still tired, these may be some of the reasons: fatigue, a sedentary lifestyle, anxiety or depression, inconsistent sleep, dehydration. That's my problem. I don't drink enough water. Poor sleep environment or routine. And what that means is making sure your bedroom is dark and cold at night. It says that the bedroom should only be for sleep and sex. So that means, you know, no working in the bedroom, avoiding caffeinated drinks and alcohol. This is one that I found because I like to drink, you know, maybe a glass of wine a couple times a week. They said don't do that as well because that can interfere with your sleep. Sleep partner problems. If your partner snores or has a different schedule than you, I know you guys have mentioned that as well. And then sleep disorders.
Now, my main is my kids. Like, once the kids get into bed, they sleep all different kind of ways. My foot and their foot on my neck, their hand, like, it's my kids.
So your kids sleep in your bed?
We don't plan it like that. It doesn't start off like that. They usually in their bed. Like last night, my daughter, when I was at the edge of the bed, damn near one leg sleeping over, my daughter was in my spot. It's just, you know, they might hear a noise, something might have spooked them, or the baby might just be like, nah, I'm not having it. And
we have not had those problems in months. Our kids are on a really great sleep schedule right now. So my 1-year-old is about to be 2, and she has not woken up in the middle of the night in a long
God, I cannot wait to get to that point.
My 7-year-old was the one that was in my bed.
We separated them because I had my 4-year-old and the 1-year-old in the same room. Now I got my 4-year-old and my 7-year-old in the same room in the bunk bed, and the 1-year-old has the room to herself, and it's been great.
Oh my God, my 8-month-old 2 times a night, 3 times a night.
Now, mine usually
8 months though. You got a ways to go before you get on the
But
sleep schedule.
you said she's 1, right?
Yeah, but she about to be 2.
Oh, she's closer to 2. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And my 16-year-old's on a great sleep schedule, so I'm waiting at that point.
All right. Well, that is Front Page News. Thank you, Teslin.
Absolutely.
And make sure you subscribe to the Straight Shot No Chaser podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network, hosted by Teslin Figaro, and follow Teslin Figaro on all social media platforms.
All right. When we come back, Jeezy will be joining us. He has a new book out right now. What's the name of the book, Charlamagne?
Adversity for Sale.
All right. And we'll talk to him next. So don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
And my team with murder, and it's just like, I ain't do nothing wrong. So for me, that was one of the moments, like, no matter how successful you are, you know what I'm saying, they really still, you know, and I just was like, man, I had to just switch it all up. And then a lot of things happened in the time that I was in jail that I thought some people was going to look out for me, but they didn't. And that really crushed me, because it was just like, I always look out for everybody, bro. Like, I'm always taking care of people. And I just kind of felt like you just do it, you know, because you're a real one. And then when you start figuring out, like, damn, you might be the only real person in this situation. Now you like, damn, I'm by myself. And I just had to, you know, make a change, man. I remember just calling home and talking to my daughter. My first daughter had just been born then. And it was just embarrassing, man, to call, you know, you're supposed to be this big man, this superstar, and you calling home, collect, well, you know, from jail. And your baby's on the other line and can barely even talk, and she's, where you at? And you like, Daddy's gonna be home in a minute. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? It was like, damn, like, bro, you better, you know? And so that was like the real time. But every time before that, you know, it was just always instances where I just knew that this wasn't gonna work out for me, right? So I had to figure out how to change without losing everything. You know what I'm saying? Because it got to a point even with the music, you know, and people say it all the time, I want to old music, but it's just like, that was my whole life. Like, I can't continue to give you something that I'm not doing. It's like me trying to give you some food in my house I don't even eat. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you get caught up in that, and then if you're not careful, you'll get stuck in that mindset, right? And you'll continue to do the same things. And that's why a lot of people didn't understand the verses. It's like, nah, bro, like, I started this in my mind, I gotta put an end to this. Like, I went to Nipsey Hussle's funeral. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I was there. I felt that pain. I felt that energy. And I'm like, I don't understand why Nip is not here no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why it hit me so serious when Pop Smoke died. You know, maybe because he was in my studio when I threw Puff a Super Bowl party. I didn't even know who Pop was. He was with Meek and Fab and all these guys. He was in my studio house. We all partied. And I was like, who's that? They're like, Pop. I was like, okay, cool. The next time you hear about him, he's dead. But like, why he did all this work, you know, to become a superstar and to get out of Brooklyn, and then you go die in the hills. You know, so I'm just looking at this and I'm like, how can I be effective? Because I'm not trying to preach or teach to nobody, but it's just like, bro, on the other side of the bush, it's a whole nother life, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like peace and happiness and family and real friends.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? People you can call and say, hey, you know, and Jan's my heart, by the way.
Salute to Jan. Love
man,
Jan.
Salute to Jan. Like, she's my heart, bro. Like, we're really friends.
Absolutely.
Right? And she goes hard for me. She don't know my walk of life, but just imagine, you know.
You feel your spirit.
Right. And there's a relationship, and that's what real friends are. They turn you on to other people, and, you know, people help each other out instead of try to bring you down. So that's what the book is really about to me. It's about building and being and understanding. Like, it ain't never too late to be better, man.
One big transformation that's in the book, right around the recession time, when you decided to lose weight and everything.
Yeah, that's when I got my sex symbol on. Yeah, that was a good time. Which part you talking about in particular?
Well, you said you didn't like the way, all of that. You didn't like the way you were living. You weren't drinking no water. You weren't eating right.
Crystal and Waffle House.
Yeah. You decided to lose 60 pounds.
Yeah, I did. And the crazy thing was, well, what I really realized, like, because that was around the recession. I wrote the recession. The recession was the first time I, like, dialed everything back and was just really focused on the music. I wasn't doing no partying, nothing. I was just working out, reading, learning. And it was like, when I went out there to do that tour, that was the first time I felt like a star. You feel what I'm saying? Because every time before that, up until that, I was going through, you know, survivor's remorse. I was depressed. I was going through all these things. But now I'm shaking this off, and I lost 60 pounds. And instead of it being all these gangsters in the front row, now it's ladies, and they throwing bras, and I'm like, I ain't never going back. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was the first time I really embraced, you know, who I was becoming. And also, too, I started to notice, like, when I was healthier, I was just making better decisions in life, bro. Because this is the thing, like, we all real, everybody come from where they come from, but you only get one shot. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, you born, you look like your daddy. When you die, you look like your decision.
That's right.
So, at the end of the day, bro, it's just like, I could have took a lot of right and left turns and did a lot of crazy things, but I was brave enough to start making decisions that I can actually live a life, you know what I'm saying, rather than to look like I was living a life, because that's what goes on in our culture. We all look like we living good, but are we really?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, are we happy? Are we at peace? You know what I mean? Do we got real people around us? All those things weren't happening for me. I was basically like getting up every day, playing this role, you know what I'm saying, and in it, but hoping I stay alive or free. You know what I'm saying? So imagine that. You know, you got the world in your hands, and it's just like, you know, it's not really in your hands, bro. Like, you know, you can wake up tomorrow, be all gone.
Now you talk about changing, but also part of that was forgiving and letting go.
Right.
When did you get to that point? Because, you know, where you come from the streets is a lot of times we don't forgive, we don't forget.
Right.
But you have recently with artists, with people, with the industry, with everybody.
I forgive, but I don't forget. I had to learn how to forgive myself. You know what I'm saying? I had, because, you know, a lot of things, you know, we all make decisions, bro. Like, you're not going to be right every time, right? And you're not going to be true to your purpose every time, because you don't know your purpose as you're going. But, you know, I had to just forgive myself first, and then start to understand that if I have this hate and this malice in my heart towards somebody, it only hurts me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it only, every day I get up and I'm upset and I'm mad and I'm this is how I feel. The other person don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? They living their life. They don't care how I feel. And once I started doing that, it just opened up a whole nother me, because now I can go into a situation and I'm not taking things personal. I used to take everything personal, right? And now I'm not taking things personal. It's just like, I get it, bro. That's how you feel. I respect that. That's not my reality, so I'm gonna keep it moving.
All right, we got more with Jeezy when we come back. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Jeezy. Charlamagne?
Why adversity for sale?
Because I feel like adversity was the biggest teacher for me, right? Adversity taught me losing taught me so much, man. Every time I lost, I just walked out of there and I'm just like, okay, what did I learn? And I started to break down, you know, how I was learning, and it was basically through all my losses. Like, I learned every time I wasted money. I learned every time I wasted a relationship. I learned every time, you know, I wasted my time and my energy on something. And I'm sitting here and I'm going, like, when you look at the world, everybody shows you how they winning, how they succeed, what I'm riding, how I'm living. They don't ever talk about what they lost, right? So you see the finished product, and that's why the instant gratification comes in, because everybody feel like they can walk outside and be you tomorrow. That's where the hate come from, really, because you feel like I can stand beside you and be you tomorrow, but you ain't went through what I went through. So adversity to me is just like, I would rather focus on that than saying I won, right? I'd rather tell you all the times I lost, because that's what the value was for me. So I'd rather sell you that, you know what I'm saying, than anything. But you gotta believe. You know what I'm saying? I can give you the adversity, but you have to believe. I mean, that's so separately. You know what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do with me.
I love the book, but do you feel like, I still feel like you was kind of guarded?
Well,
because there's certain parts you be like, that's a whole other book. You know what I mean? Especially in your time in making.
Yeah.
you told it a little bit, but you didn't.
Well, two things. The book to me wasn't about any malice, so I didn't want to throw anybody on the bus, because that wasn't my intentions at all. The second thing is, you got to understand, Charlamagne, you know, I am still, you know, coming from being a street guy, so I got to still live by moral code.
Absolutely.
Like, I can't go out here and just, you know, I can't believe I'm talking this much, but anyway. But it gives me a sense of freedom I can't front, because I've had to sit back and not say nothing about a lot of things, but this is my story, my life, my perspective, but I'm not going to throw you under the bus in the process, because I don't feel like that's going to help anybody, right? And for me, it's just like, if you know, you know. And if you don't, then that means you're not supposed to know. So that's as deep as I was willing to go to maintain my integrity.
Yeah. Now, you dropped it young. A long time ago.
Yes, sir.
So do you want to be known more as Jay Jenkins now?
I like the J. Jeezy Jenkins though. It's kind of cool.
Jenkins,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I mean, for me, it's like, you know, and I can only ask you like how you felt like being an author because it's just a different energy. You know, I've been doing book signings, running around, but it's like, you know, it's cool to read. And when you see these, you know, saying these guys coming off the streets buying 3-4 books, you're like, damn, you know, this, and they telling you like, I hope this, you know, helps me out of what I'm trying to do. And the crazy thing is like, you know, when you looked at Pac and everybody was looking at his whole thug life movement, he really just stood for something. He just had to word it so that we can relate to it, right? And you think about thug motivation, you just had to word it, but it's basically, you know, you standing for something. And when you think about J. Jeezy Jenkins, it's like it's been young, then it was Jeezy. Now it was J. Jeezy Jenkins, so that's the evolution of everything that I've been, right? And I get to say that now as a proud, like, author, right? And where I'm from, nobody even wants to hear your story, right? So for me, to be able to be called J. Jeezy Jenkins, that means you respect everything I am and everything that I've embodied. And I love that. That's like an accomplishment.
Was there anybody you had to talk to before you put this book out? Like let them know, like, hey, I'm telling this story, I'm telling that story.
No, because I just did it from, you know, just a place of being real and not having any malice, not like trying to be devious. So I didn't feel like, because when people tell stories, they just tell stories, right? Of course, everybody got their own idea of what happened. So I didn't feel like I don't feel like anybody's gonna come out and say, yo, you ain't tell the truth about that. Because we all was in agreement of what happened. Because we was all there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I haven't had anything yet, so that's good.
They said now writing this book helped you overcome fear of failure. Why is that?
Well, not even just failure. Writing this book just was very therapeutic. You know what I'm saying? Because when you write and you have to read this back to yourself, like you reliving all that trauma. And I just been so good at like just putting stuff to the side and not dealing with it, right? And you know, I tell everybody, like even when I read the chapter about Shakir was in it,
man,
you know, it just, you know, I had to read it out loud and I had to go through what I was feeling emotionally. And it was probably like one of the first times I dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? Because when it happened, I didn't grieve, right? Like I didn't go through the process. I just put it with everything else that ever happened to me. But I'm like, this is a real human being. This is my friend. This is somebody who changed my life. This is not one of your homeboys from the neighborhood who chose to live, you know, this type of life. And it was just moments like that that really caught me off guard because, you know, I'm a solid dude. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? But I had learned how to basically be emotionless. You know,
is that because of your guy? I don't want to give too much away, but your guy that used to always be like, glad it ain't me.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, once you go through so much in life and you have so much loss, you just come to grips with it and you understand this is just a part of life, and that's cool. But you still have to, and this is like some of the information and knowledge I learned. You still have to allow yourself to feel.
That's right,
and that's what I wasn't doing, right? But I felt like that made me tougher, which is why when y'all always see me all the time, probably why y'all be like, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm guarded because I feel like that's what's going to keep me safe. That's what's going to keep me solid, right? And you build this wall, and it also keeps people out, yeah, but it also blocks your blessings from coming in. You know what I'm saying? And I just had to realize that, you know, I'm not there yet. You know what I'm saying? But I'm getting better with understanding that it's okay to feel that way, and I'm hoping that my transparency when it comes to us and people we grew up with understand like it's okay not to be okay, right? It's okay to feel like you don't have to walk around here and be a shell of a man, you know, because that affects your kids, it affects your family, it affects your friends. And a lot of my friends didn't even know me. They thought they did.
They knew the character you was portraying.
Right. They knew, yeah,
the mask you was wearing at the time.
Right. They knew that, but so when I started having real conversations, I'm like, damn, man, like, you know, you going through that too? You know what I mean? Now we helping each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and people don't believe that. Like even when me and Nipsey used to talk, that's why I love Nipsey so much, man. Like Nipsey would talk to me about books, and we'd be in the club, like, and everybody partying, and he like, yo, you read, you know, and we just talking. I just thought that was fascinating because I was there too, because I'm trying to get knowledge, but I'm like, damn, like who would have ever thought that Nipsey Hussle would be the person that I could talk to about books?
Oh, that was him. You know, it's so funny. I was looking at this was recently. I was looking at the last conversation we was having, like via text, and it was him asking me about a book, right? He was telling me to get him a copy of this book.
Right, no, that's crazy, bro.
Yep.
And you know, long live Nip.
Absolutely. I was going to ask, you know, your Subway sandwich conversation. Does it ever bother you that people missed the message of you saying I did this to grind out. You're so concerned with how much the sandwich costs,
right?
That you missed the message of what you were trying to say.
You know what, man? Monty used to tell me, man, you gotta leave ignorance where it's at, and I just could do the best I can to relay the message. It's on you to get it. But that was the craziest thing. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute.
For weeks they were talking about
in the book. It makes sense though. In the context when you read it in the book, it makes sense.
Okay, so you did get in the book, yeah. And the point in case was like, no, I was so focused that I went to this place every day to eat because I knew I was going to spend a certain amount of money, right? And I could save the rest of my money. And to me, that was me building my financial literacy skills and teaching myself how to manage money, and that was the point I was trying to make.
No, we caught the point. I caught the point.
Ain't gave me no money to get.
but I think that in the book, you did that because you was hustling at a certain time.
Correct. Right.
So that certain time of day you was hustling,
right?
That was part of your routine. But you was still having breakfast and still having dinner. That's what it says in the book. You get it.
Yeah. So I was still, I was still doing my thing. And by the way, like a lot of people didn't even know, like this is I don't want to dive too deep in it, but you talking about a town that probably had a population of 2,100 people.
I've been
like
there.
You've been to the.
I've been there.
It's like the first one of our fast food restaurants. So it was like you gotta look at the cost of living around. Everybody working at family, they can't charge what they charge in New York or California for a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? But that's that. But I'm glad you brought that up.
All right, we got more with Jeezy when we come back. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Jeezy. Charlamagne?
What does 50 years of hip hop mean to Jeezy?
Man, it's so young. It's so young, but yet so powerful, man. Like when I look around, I see my peers, man. I'm just proud, bro. Like I'm just proud to see like the traumas and all these guys just being so successful and changing lives, and making companies and holding down platforms, and it's only 50 years old. Think about that. You see it, and I don't know what hip hop makes all the way around. I mean, even for yourself, car shows and and the stuff you do. Like I don't know what it makes if we all, just the billions that it makes, but it's 50 years old. Just imagine seeing a 50-year-old person that's worth, $200-300 billion because he affects everything. So just look at hip hop as a person. It's like we all been able to eat off of it, right? And we all been able to learn,
right?
And I tell people all the time, like I learned from Tupac, like, which is why my music was always serious to me. Like, why I never just wrote it for money. Like I didn't write the book for money. We could take the book off the table, and I'll still be here because this is my purpose. But hip hop gave me a purpose. Hip hop gave me a voice. Hip hop gave me a platform. Hip hop saved my life, right? You feel what I'm saying? Because I could have been out of here. And God willing, I never thought what I would be doing music in real life.
Who are some of your biggest influences for people that don't know growing up? Hip hop turns 50 this Friday. Right. So like who was the reason that you said, I want to do that because of this, or because I heard that, or because I seen this?
We had a couple names in the book that surprised me.
Yeah.
One in particular. But
Who's that?
Trick. I love Trick.
I love Trick, yeah. Well, that was because I was hustling in Florida at some point, and Trick was like, he was like the god down there. And he was just speaking real talk, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about my money and all those songs he had, like I just resonated with it, and that's when I was kind of getting a little Florida vibe. But to answer your question, like, to me, the biggest entrepreneurs I saw that I can figure out how they was doing it was the Master P's and the Cash Money, because they was showing us all the stuff that we wanted. Like when you first saw the Hunt video, like I'd never seen a yellow Ferrari in the middle of the projects. Like I wanted that, and I went out and I achieved that. I got the yellow Ferrari. I got the 2-3 Rolexes at one time. I had the GS 400 Lexus, the GS 300 Lexus, but I was watching them, right? So that made me want to do what they was doing, because that was the only way I saw that you can get money. Now, what made me change my life was when I was in boot camp. The first time I heard over the radio, "Dear Mama, So Many Tears" from Tupac. Now that's when it changed on a
personal.
Like I love what Cash Money and No Limit was doing this musically, but like Tupac touched me, bro. Like he was my preacher, my mentor, my go-to. Like this is how I'm learning, and because like I said again, like when you come up the way we come up, a lot of people didn't have morals and values at that time because they was just trying to survive. So I was getting all my morals from Tupac. That's how I kind of knew what not to do, what not to say, and how not to talk and how not to be. To me, when music affects you like that, that's something different. And that's what made me want to do it.
I love reading books like yours because you get to see how a whole city grew and evolved, right? Atlanta.
Right.
I didn't realize Shorty Red had that much influence over your whole career. Now, I mean, we knew he was one of your go-tos when it came to production, but I'm talking about just as far as everything.
Yeah, no, for what it's worth, I feel Shorty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel what he's going through, where he's at with it. I've been there. Mm-hmm. We just got to all just climb out of there. But as far as, like, showing me the ropes, allowing me to be around so I can understand what to do musically, that was all me just hanging around him. And then when we created a sound, that was me and him sitting in his basement. Shorty believed in me then, you know what I'm saying? And again, like, a lot of things happened, like fame happened, success happened, and, I just ran with the wind, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe we didn't have the conversations of how that was going to work out if I was to succeed.
Is there anything that you feel like you left out of the book? I mean, you didn't even get into your new life, being a husband.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I felt, and people ask me that, and you know how you want to show everybody every room in your house except your bedroom, because it's sacred.
Absolutely.
Like, it's your one thing. It's like that's my sacred place. Like, I don't want nobody. I don't want all these things that I went through to even, connect with that, because I feel like, I don't want that energy in my new life. I feel like I'm writing something to stop that chapter. And if you peep why I stopped the chapter, and if you watch how I live my life, and people are like, why'd you stop on verses? I said, because that's when I made a decision. That was the decision, evolve or die. So, bam, stop right there, and I'm going to evolve. Y'all deal with that. That's on y'all to figure. I ain't got to never do another record in my life. To a lot of people, verses was just music, but it was so much behind that culture, man. Right. And one of us had to make a decision. Because if it would have went the way everybody wanted it to go or thought it was going to go, then we would be in the same place. And there's not any safe place for somebody to say, hey, bro, I don't really get along with what you're talking about, but we got to figure this out, which is the conflict resolution, right? Mm-hmm. Because when I look at Young Thug and Lucci, that hurt my heart, bro. And my thing is, when I see these guys sitting in jail and prison, and all their people was out here starving, and the people they was taking care of and employing and all that is a wrap. But for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, because we can't sit down. So that's what verses was about to me. And I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I ain't need to do no verses. You know what I'm saying? Like, but for the culture, I owe them that. I'm the one that was telling them to go out here and do what they had to do. So how I'm gonna go make another move and do what I gotta do, and I tell y'all, hey, look, bro, I'm gonna make this decision for all of us, and it might be unfavorable. Everybody might not get it, but you will before it's over with.
And I love how you broke down where you were at in that moment when the truth played.
Yeah,
it was like you was like, Stay Scrap could have came.
Oh no, it was.
You made
it was there.
It was right there.
Ace was queued up.
That's right.
Ace was ready to go. He could have set it off.
That's right.
In my mind, I just said what I had to say because it didn't affect me then. It's not gonna affect me now. And we already done went through about 15 years of this. So I'm moving on, bro. And that's in front of the world, right? In front of everybody that respects me and might not respect me tomorrow, but they ain't got shit to do with my kids, my life, my legacy, none of that. And that's why I stopped the book there, because I'm going on to live my new life.
Right.
And if y'all want Jeezy, he back there. Now, if you want J. Jeezy Jenkins, he's at the Breakfast Club.
Right.
You feel me?
And Adversity for Sale is in stores right now.
That's right. The book is out right now. Make sure you go pick it up. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeezy, we appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate y'all, brother.
I understand.
And you read your book, too. You read the audio version.
Yes, I read the audio version. The book is out right now. You can get it anywhere books are sold. That's Audible, that's Amazon, and every bookstore in your neighborhood.
That's right.
Barnes & Nobles. Love.
There you have it. It's the Breakfast Club. It's Jeezy.
My guys.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest co-host, Roxy Romeo, from, of course, Power 99 out in Philly. Welcome, Roxy.
Thank you.
And let's get right into the rumors.
All right.
This is the Rumor Report.
It's Roxy Romeo.
Roxy been iHeart Mafia all these years.
I just say Roxy.
If you want to know if something is like cool or if it's hip, the only way that you're going to know is if somebody from the culture, the black culture, co-signs it.
On the Breakfast Club.
Turn it up.
Oh my God, can I take this with me? I'm just saying.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so Offset, it is being reported that he filed for immediate dismissal of the lawsuit he filed in August of 2022 against Quality Control Music. So the lawsuit claimed that Quality Control was claiming ownership of his solo releases, despite the fact that he executed a deal with them in 2021 to buy back the rights to his music. He took special offense to this because apparently the purchase was not cheap. He stated the Quality Control's claims over his solo music was, quote unquote, wrongful and knowingly violates Offset's rights to his own music. So he officially filed to drop the lawsuit on Tuesday, and the paperwork was reportedly dated August 4th. Earlier this year, he told Variety that he was going full-fledged with his solo career. His new album, Rocket Power, is set to be released on August 18th. The album is being released once again on Quality Control.
I thought Quavo was Rocket Power.
Well, I'll look it up and we will confirm.
Okay.
But the album is being released on Quality Control again, so I'm guessing that they obviously worked out their differences. But he already released his first single for the project, Jealousy, of course, featuring his wife, Cardi.
That was hard.
Which is dope.
Yeah, I love to see Quality Control and Offset work that out, man, because I love everything QC has built. You know, everything P and Coach have built over there, and we know all of them together. Like, the foundation of Quality Control to me is P and Coach and, you know, the Migos. That's what I think of when I think of Quality Control, you know?
Yeah, me too.
So I love to see them work that out.
All right. Moving on, Travis Scott. So he recently had a show in Rome, and the same situation has surfaced. So he is now under the microscope. There have been 60 people that have come forward claiming that they were injured at his show. There were 60,000 people at the show. But the thing is none of these injuries were like major injuries. It was like, oh, I stubbed my toe. I have an injury. Oh, I scraped my knee. Oh, I have an injury. And so now because of this, he is getting put on blast.
Yeah, this is sad. He's going to have to, but the sad thing about it, he's going to see it at a lot of his shows from here on out. That people are going to do that. They're going to try to get a check. They're going to try to do that because it seems like an easy money grab.
Yo, you put 60,000 people anywhere, there's going to be some type of commotion.
Exactly.
Like at a concert. I don't even know why they keep having these big ass concerts with all these people. 60,000 people is a lot of people. Yo, it's impossible to have the level of security to contain 60,000 people.
I mean, Ed Sheeran did it at MetLife. You had Beyonce just did it. You have Super Bowl. You have baseball games. You have basketball games. You have all these soccer games, these football games. So there's a problem with it.
So is it the music then?
No, I think
like
you said,
the music that causes them to be rowdy. Because like you said, there was 80,000 plus at Ed Sheeran. It's those big numbers at Beyonce. You don't see that type of stuff.
But I think you do see a lot of these injuries that people don't report it. Like you trying to tell me that at these football games, these soccer games, nobody gets hurt? They have to get hurt. It's not just the music.
It's the music.
You see it all the time. These people get hurt at these games.
The music.
It's not true.
If you have all these people rowdy and they turned up, there's going to be injuries.
You don't see all the time in these football games?
Yeah.
These football games, these soccer games, people get injured and hurt all the time. You just don't hear about it. It's Travis Scott. That makes it the story.
That's not true.
It's
the music. It's the fact that they wilding and they being rowdy with more people.
I bet you if you look up how many times people get hurt at these huge international soccer games where they're fighting and jumping and going crazy, and sometimes they run on the field, people get hurt and injured.
Maybe.
I mean, this particular situation is definitely just because it's Travis Scott that they're putting a microscope.
That's
like
it.
a 14-year-old boy got hurt, but it was his fault. Like he literally tried to sneak into the show and sneak past security. He was on some kind of structure and jumped off and hurt himself.
Oh, that's his dumbass.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's the kind of stuff you're dealing with. All right. So 4040 Club, the iconic club here in New York owned by Jay-Z, has reportedly closed its doors. It opened in 2003. It's been a staple in the hip hop community. And the rumor is, or supposedly, they're only closed because they're planning to open up in another location. But we don't know how true that actually is.
I loved the 4040 when I was out and about all the time. I just felt like the 4040 in the last couple of years just didn't do enough because it was the only place where we all can go to watch the games, to watch the fights, to watch the sports. And I don't know what happened. I don't know, maybe because Jay is moved to the West Coast. It just that we lost that feeling, and hopefully they're moving it to another venue. I hope you get that feeling back because you go to all these other markets, all these different cities. There's places where we all can go watch the game, where we can all go watch the fight, and we can watch it together as a culture and feel safe. And New York just doesn't have that. So with that, them losing the 4040, I hope they're able to open back up and restructure and create that feeling again.
What I would like to see is Jay-Z and Rock Nation get granted the license for the casino in Times Square.
And then put the 4040
in the casino.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. So maybe that's the new location.
What is that about?
Yeah, they're trying to get a license for a casino.
They put in a bid.
Times Square.
I think
they put in a bid for it.
Yeah, they're granting, I think, one person
Oh.
a casino license, and Jay and them put in a bid for it. That would be
incredible.
dope.
Can you imagine the 40-40 in a casino?
That's
in
what I'm
Times
so
Square?
that feeling.
Now there's something to do.
Go
in New
there and
York.
watch the fight.
Now you
Go
got
there and
something
watch
to
the
do.
games. You could go
Oh,
gamble.
man.
Then you could. There's a
Oh,
hotel. You could. That would
What's
be.
the likeliness of him getting it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I hope so.
He's in the bidding. He's in the running for
I
it.
hope so. I pray so.
I pray so too.
And Charlamagne, you were right. That is actually Quavo's album.
What?
The Rocket
Power.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
He's old. He don't remember. He don't remember.
That
was only 5 minutes ago. That was only 5 minutes ago.
Okay, hey man, things move fast out here, man. I was already
Offset,
thinking
I don't think we know the name of his album.
Got
Anyway,
you.
so that was it.
He said, "What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about?" I ain't say that.
Forgot all about
What you
that.
say?
Okay.
All right. Well, that is your rumor report. Thank you, Roxy. Charlamagne!
Yes, indeed.
Who you giving that donkey to?
Man, we need a woman named Brittany McClure. She's from Michigan. She needed to come to the front of the congregation. We would like to have a word for her. And I don't want you women to judge, because a lot of you women have been in this situation, dealing with a dog. We'll talk about it for after the hour.
All right, we'll get to that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
If you're hiring, you know it's hard to attract top talent. Team up with the hiring partner who understands how tough it is and knows what you need. ZipRecruiter. Go to this exclusive web address to try ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/breakfast.
This don't be a donkey, because right now you want some real donkey.
It's time for Donkey of the Day. So if you ever feel I need to be a donkey, man, hit me with the heat.
Did she get donkey today? Please tell me.
Absolutely.
I have become donkey of the day.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
We're donkey.
Well, Donkey of the Day for Thursday, August 10th goes to a Michigan woman named Brittany McClure. Brittany. She made the mistake that a lot of women make in life, and now she got into a romantic relationship with a dog. All right, a lot of women have been there, so don't judge Roxy. I mean, don't judge Brittany. Roxy, I'm sure.
Wow.
No.
Roxy been there before?
It's definitely not
I
me.
was going to ask Roxy, I'm sure you've been involved with a dog or two in your lifetime. You from Philly?
Jesus.
I'm from Miami.
Oh, Miami. You work in Philly?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Now, there's two types of dealings with a dog. You can be a woman who doesn't know they are dealing with a dog, or you're a woman who has a good man, but you get an action from a dog on the side, which I'll never understand. Because if you got a good man, why would you want to creep with a dog on the side? This is what happened to Brittany. She got caught by her ex-boyfriend. Her ex-boyfriend had a surveillance camera set up and caught Brittany creeping with Max. Okay, yes, that's the name, Max. Max is a known dog in this town, yet Brittany couldn't help herself, and she was caught creeping by her ex-boyfriend. Not just creeping. He got her on camera performing fellatio.
Oh my goodness.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine catching your significant other on camera giving fellatio? And what makes the situation even worse, on the video, she's trying to get Max to reciprocate, and Max not with it. Max keeping it player. Max said, "Thou shalt receive, but thou shalt not give." Okay, when people show you who they are, believe them. Okay, when a dog shows you who they are, believe them. The Book of Gucci, chapter 3, verse 32. He told you what a dog was all about. I'm a dog. Repeat that 17 times, and then he told you I'm gonna treat her like a dog and pass it to my dogs. Okay, a person with that mentality not reciprocating oral. Okay, this not a you put your mouth on me, I'll put my mouth on you situation. Not when you messing with a dog. I'm not even mad at Max. I'm mad at Brittany for not knowing any better. And guess what? She got arrested. Oh, yes. Her ex-boyfriend turned her in because what she was doing was a crime. What do you mean, Uncle Charla? A crime. Well, let's go to Fox 2 Detroit for the report, please.
Ever seen anything like this?
I have not.
You probably have not either. The Taylor man says this week he caught his ex-girlfriend Brittany McClure on home surveillance cameras at their Taylor home they still share.
In that video, it shows defendant Brittany McClure lying on the living room floor on what appears to be a mattress covered with a blanket. She then removes the blanket and calls the dog over to her.
That's Taylor PD's detective Philip Collop, who had to analyze the 6-minute video.
She is heard saying, "Good boy."
He secured charges against McClure for sodomy and animal abuse. Max is even named as the victim in his report.
Plain as day, it's his ex-girlfriend performing fellatio on the dog named Max, and her attempts to get Max to reciprocate.
Lieutenant Frank Canning, at this job 24 years, he's dumbfounded, says McClure confessed and even told investigators why.
Kind of a interest in a fetish, stuff that was seen on the internet.
Good news, Max was not hurt.
Now, Roxy, I asked you a question earlier. and I'm going to ask you again now that we have more context. I'm sure, have you ever been involved with a dog or two in your lifetime?
Not that kind of dog.
Okay. Brittany is nasty. Disgusting. Is it okay to shame her, or will I get attacked by the canine sexuals? Huh? Let me make sure the Dog Lovers Association of America isn't fighting for people's rights to have sex with pound puppies. Peter, how do you feel about this? Are you going to call for my cancellation because I think Brittany is mentally disturbed for sucking a dog's one-eyed pink pocket rocket? Huh? Not to mention, she tried to get the dog to reciprocate. You know why the dog wouldn't reciprocate, Brittany? Because dogs don't like dry food. All right, sometimes you got to pour some warm water over some dry food to make it softer. Brittany, you was dry, boo. All right, you want the dog to eat, you already got to come with it wet and soft. Also, everyone knows it's not dogs that reciprocate, it's cats. That's why you have so many cat women in this world. Put a little honey down there and the cat will go to work with that rough tongue. But that's neither here nor there. Back to the dog. You're under the blanket, calling the dog over, talking about good boy, good boy. Also, you can put your mouth on this dog's milk bone. Yuck. Now, what's been confusing me about this situation, what I've been pondering, was whether or not Brittany had feelings for Max, because she could have had feelings for the dog. Or she could have not. All right, if she doesn't have feelings for him, if they was just getting it in, quick drive-by, it would probably sound like this. But what if Brittany loved this dog? What if she was into this dog? What if she cared for this dog? If she did, it would sound like this. Please give Brittany McClure the biggest hee-haw. Nothing left to do here but play a game of Guess What Races!
All right. Well, hold on. There we go.
Brittany McClure got caught applying that dog lipstick to her lips by her ex-boyfriend.
Yes.
Roxy, guess what race she is?
For $500, I'm going to go with white.
Okay. DJ Envy.
Yes.
Brittany McClure got caught sucking on that K9 incher. Guess what race she is?
White.
Well, Roxy and DJ Envy, guess what? Both of you are correct. Yeah! She is absolutely Caucasian. She is Capitol Riot white. She is Montgomery, Alabama, starting fight with crew workers white. Look at her. Look at that big old jar of Hellmann's. That is a human jar of Hellmann's in the flesh, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? All right. Lord have mercy.
That was a nasty ass donkey today.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
absolutely disgusting.
BET. We'll see you tomorrow, BET. Mm-hmm. We'll see you tomorrow. That was disgusting. That was just nasty.
I enjoyed it. I found it quite hilarious. Okay, it was very entertaining to me.
All right. Well, when we come back, let's see if you have that same energy. Because the champion, Terrence Bud Crawford, will be joining us.
Bud will be here.
If everybody that's listening, I don't know if you remember a couple of weeks ago and a couple of months ago,
several years. For the last couple of years, I have been saying Earl Spence would beat Terrence Bud Crawford.
You said Terrence Crawford wasn't strong enough
against Earl.
You said he wasn't powerful enough
against Earl.
You said, what you gonna do when Errol Spence comes for you?
Against Earl, not everybody else. Okay.
We're gonna see if you have that energy when we come back. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Charlamagne the guy. Yo, Bud wanted to sit there.
He deserves it.
Bud wanted to sit in your seat. Bud wanted to sit in your seat, and he said, "If you want him to move, you got to make him move."
No,
you gotta sit right with you, man.
He right where he needs to be. He right where he needs to be.
Bud said he want to sit in your seat, and if you want him to move, make him move.
Hey,
that's what he said.
Right where he need to be.
Ladies and gentlemen,
congratulations,
we have the champion, Terrence Crawford. Ladies and gentlemen.
Congrats, man.
Would you like to say anything?
I mean, I gave myself donkey of the day. I
apologize.
He said apologize
for a wrong sports pick.
And say you're a loser.
Say it all.
Listen, I don't know if an apology is necessary, but I was dead wrong.
Say you sorry for being dead wrong.
I apologize.
Okay.
I apologize for picking Earl Spence over you.
He picked Earl Spence way before. Early on.
I did. The most impressive thing about the fight was everything that I thought Earl Spence would do to beat you, you neutralized it.
Right.
Took away his jab. His size didn't matter. You were clearly stronger. You hurt him.
And I asked you, I said, how you feel that he's stronger than me?
But that was before I saw the video of you deadlifting how much was that, 400 pounds?
Like 4 something.
4 something. I didn't know you. I really didn't know that you had that type
He
of...
slept on you, Terrence.
Man, shut up. You don't even watch
Slept on
boxing.
you. I'm a casual boxing fan. I seen that fight. So, but let me ask you a question. I know it seemed like it felt good because you had so many doubters and so many haters, people that didn't believe in you. So did you feel like that was your time?
That's not true. He was up in Vegas.
Could you let this brother talk?
That's Vegas.
Yeah, but there's plenty of people picking
Did you feel like there was a lot of people that doubted you, hated on you, especially from the culture?
Absolutely. You know, there's a lot of people doubting me and saying the same thing that he was saying. Because I'm pretty sure he didn't base his opinion off of his own knowledge. He based his opinion off of what people were saying.
Oh, no. That was based off what I saw.
So, when you start seeing this and this and this and everybody keeps saying, oh, well, he's big, he's strong, and everybody keeps saying that, and then you see him fight, you know, then you're like, all right, well, this dude is big and strong, and so you start believing the hype. He didn't do his own homework, just like everybody else. So then you get a lot of people in the comments, you get a lot of people on social media, you get a lot of people in interviews, they say, oh, well, Terrence small because I'm skinny. Oh, he's small, he's little, he's coming from 135, and they go with that narrative, you know, and then when the fight happened, then everybody, they shocked, they surprised, they like, man, wow, but not giving me the credit for knocking out every opponent that I faced in the welterweight division.
You have to admit this was your best performance ever in the ring.
I wouldn't say that. You know, I would say it's my best performance against the level of competition that it was. Given the performance that I had against a level of competitor like Errol Spence, then that's when everybody give me my respect now.
So is this a revenge tour? Are you just going to go around to all the media outlets who said that Earl...
He should.
that Earl was going to win and make him apologize? That's what you...
Nah, man, I just want to, you know what I mean, see your face because you was one of the main people, you know, not the last time, but way when I first came on here. Like
I've always thought Earl... Oh, not discrediting you in any way. Just saying I always thought Earl would win if y'all fought each other.
Yeah, so I just had to see your face, you know. Sit in your chair and you know, make you appreciate greatness that's sitting next to you.
Well, the rematch happened sooner or later, and I mean, I know you've heard the commentary after the fight, even like Stephen A. Smith believes Errol should retire. What's your thoughts after fighting him?
Well, I don't think he should retire. I think he should take a little time off, get his mind right, get back in the gym and get back focused, because I never took a loss in the professional rankings, but I know how that can affect you mentally, being at this high level and losing the way you lost. You know, you start questioning yourself, you start asking yourself, do I still got it? Am I getting old? Am I slipping? You start asking yourself all different type of questions that you gotta answer. So I just would tell them, you know, you're a great fighter, take a little time off and come back and, you know, do it again, but don't
Have you
rush
spoke to him? Have you spoke to him after?
No, I sent him a text message. Sent him a text message, check up on him.
Did he reply?
Yeah, he replied. Like I told everybody, I don't hate Errol Spence. Like, I'm a fan of Errol Spence. Like, it was just business at the end of the day.
Did you carry Earl a couple rounds, man?
No, Errol.
I feel like you could have got, and I love Earl, but I feel like you could have got him out there a little bit earlier. It looked like you let off, especially in the 8th round.
No, man, you got to understand, man. Errol's a great fighter. He's very strong. He's got the heart of a lion, and he's very tough. You know, he just keep getting up. Like, he like, man, I'm not giving up. I don't care what you do. I'm going to keep getting up, and I'm going to keep fighting. So, yeah, he did what he had to do to last the time that he lasted.
You think the ref should have stopped it at that time? Because even when he stopped it, Errol was, you know, put his hands up like, I'm still going. Do you think that was the time to stop the fight?
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I think that his corner should have stepped in the 7th round. You know, I feel as if they believed in Errol, but at the same time, they should have saved the fighter from himself. Because as fighters, we're going to keep fighting until there's no fight left.
Were you concerned about that? Because there's been these rumors that, you know, neurologically something is off with Earl. So were you concerned about that as you were fighting him? Like, did you see any of that in the ring?
No. Not at all. You know, because when I'm in the ring, I'm in kill mode. You know, it's not my job to let up. You know, it's my job to hurt you. because we in a hurt game. And if I was in that situation, he would be thinking the same. Now afterwards, yeah, I'm gonna be like, damn, you know, I'm feel sorry for you. I'm check up on you, you know, wish him well. Pretty much how it go.
Right.
So what you gonna do next? Because Jermell Charlo is getting a script of his belts, and I know you wanted that to become what, undisputed champion in 3 divisions, right?
Right.
So when that happens, what you gonna do? Who you want to fight now?
I don't know. I'm just sitting back, exploring my options.
Is Jermell off the table for good if you don't have the belt?
No, not at all. I hope he come back and him and Tim Tszyu fight, and I fight the winner. But I really, you know, want to fight him.
What about Boots? Boots is the mandatory. He's calling you out now.
Listen, right now in my career, a lot of people like boost this, boost that, boost this. You know, fighting Boots is a lose-lose situation. I win, they're gonna say, oh well, he was young, he wasn't ready. You know, he was talented, he was skillful, but you got the experience over him. You got so much more than this kid that never been tested before. You know, because we always seen him win in a fashionate way, you know, to where we say, oh man, he's cold, he's skillful, but he's never been in the ring with nobody to test him. Me fighting Boots will be like, okay, well, you beat Boots. It's not a mega fight. It's going to sell a little bit because of your name and what you just accomplished. You know, but now what?
So is it about just the money?
Definitely.
Okay.
100% about the money. Not taking anything away from Boots, but where I am at in my career right now, I didn't fall my ass off to get to where I am. And I deserve to do whatever the I want to do. And I don't care what nobody say, how anybody feel, or any of that.
Do you see the comparisons when they say Crawford in his prime versus Mayweather in his prime, who would win? And what do you think about those comparisons?
Well, yeah, man, I respect it. I respect it. A lot of people always, Ben asking me, you know, what I think. And I always say, you know, Terrence Crawford against anybody. You know, I'm not going to say one man would do anything with me, but I respect the hell out of Floyd. He's been a fighter that I've looked up to his whole career, ever since I was a little kid. He paved the way for a lot of us fighters, so I got to always pay homage to the OG, you know what I mean? It's great that my name has been mentioned with the greats now at the welterweight division, like Floyd, Sugar Ray Leonard, and, you know, Duran and Tommy Hearns and those fighters. So I'm getting my just due.
All right, we got more with the champ, Terrence Crawford. When we come back, don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with the champ, Terrence Crawford. Charlamagne?
What media personalities motivated you for the Earl fight? Like who were the people that you couldn't wait to go see other than me? I saw you call the guy retarded at the end of the fight.
Hey, listen, man, there's so many of them because you got these bandwagon people that's jumping on the bandwagon. And no disrespect to Errol, no disrespect for them having their own opinion, you know, but it's a lot of boxing little podcasts and blogs that always put out negative information of Terrence Crawford, you know, just because they was Errol Spence fans. And I fed off of that, though.
But you and Earl was a pick me though.
Yeah,
it was. You could win either way.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It could be a pick me. Call it how you call it. You know, but at the same time, don't discredit one fighter because you like another fighter. So you're trying to take all his accolades away because you like this fighter. You trying to put false information out on this fighter because you want to, you know, get this fighter all the attention and all the recognition and stuff like that. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this fighter, I think, you know, he got the edge because of this. But this fighter is a great fighter as well because he accomplished this. Don't say, oh, well, he's not fighting nobody. He's fighting washed up opponents. Oh, the only reason why he beat this guy is because, you know, he was damaged good because Errol Spence already beat him and this and that and that. You know, there's no need to do that. You know, when me and Errol fight, then we're going to see who the better man is. And that's what we did on the 29th.
What you did to Earl, though, I didn't expect Earl to do that to you, but I didn't expect you to do that to Earl either. I don't think nobody expected what we saw. Did you expect that? In your mind, when you envisioned the fight, did you think it was going to go that way?
Not at all. Not at all. I didn't even expect it to go high or win, but we train for the moment. You know, we live in the moment. When they ask me, you know, about the fight, I always say when I win, because I believe that and I really feed off of the negative energy, the negative attention, the negative comments. So I replay all that in my head, and I just, it just boosts me and give me more energy. And I'm like, okay.
Didn't I say that? I said every time he hit Earl, it felt like he was hitting me. I said that. It felt personal. It did. It felt like you was getting something off your chest in that moment.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. That was definitely a fight where, like I said, after the fight, I felt relieved because now it's behind me. When I got my kids asking me, you gonna fight that Spencer guy? Then I know it hit home. So it's like, man, this dude gotta fight. So I always try to do everything in my power and in my will to make the fight happen. And it was great because it was for all the belts. So that's why I told everybody it's happening at the best time. Because if we'd have fought sooner, it probably wouldn't have been as big. It probably wouldn't have meant as much because we was fighting for 2 belts, So now what? Where do we go from here? Do we fight this guy? Do we fight that guy? Now what?
I mean, everybody keeps bringing up Canelo. I think that's weird, because you'd have to gain 20 pounds.
Yeah.
But they say that's the money fight. That's the mega fight. That's the money fight. That's the only thing that makes sense for Terrence Crawford.
Well, catch weight. We can do something at a catch weight.
What weight you think?
Probably 160 or something.
But you said you said 154 is the highest you want to go.
Yeah, 158, 160. That'd be cool.
Also, I see. What was that conversation when you called Eminem to have Eminem bring you out? Because that was a surprise to people.
That was dope. I was just talking about what should I come out to. Every song that I come out to got meaning to it for that moment when I'm fighting. And I was just thinking, I was like, dang, man, what'd be dope? Eminem. I don't think he never walked nobody out. He don't really never go nowhere.
He never go outside, right?
So I was just like, man, that would be great for this great moment. And for him to reply on my Instagram and say that he was a big fan, I was one of his favorite fighters. I was like, oh, you know what I mean? You get surprised and stuff like that when you're a fan of somebody and they're a fan of yours, but you don't know they're a fan of yours. And you're like, damn, word? All right, pull up. He really pulled up.
Yeah, you told him to pull up and he pulled up.
Right. Let's do it. I'm like, damn, this is dope. So everything leading up to the fight, I felt as if it was my moment. And I just felt that way in my heart, my soul, this my show. It can say Spence Crawford. He can be the A side, but this my show.
Canelo versus Charlo, September 30th. Who you got?
I got Canelo. I think it's going to be a good fight. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Charlo, but he's skillful. He's big. He's bigger than Canelo. Even though Canelo at a higher weight, I think Canelo going to be stronger than him. I think Canelo going to be more powerful than him, but at the same time, I think Charlo got the boxing skills to make it a competitive fight. He uses jab, straight punches, and don't get caught up with all the feints and stuff that Canelo throw. I think it'd be competitive.
Canelo versus Crawford at 158. Who wins?
Crawford. Come on, man. Hey, listen.
What do you think, Charlamagne? What do you think?
Hey, man,
you want to make a prediction again?
That's one of them ones, but I'm just gonna sit back and watch it.
And we already had that.
Come back, take your chair again.
158. That's the fight, though.
Right.
That's the fight. I can't see. There's nobody else out there for you. I can't see any. When we talking mega fights, and where you are now, I don't see who else would make sense.
Yeah.
Have there been talks? Has the conversation started?
No. They're already focused on what they got in front of them. That's Jamel. So I would never, try to interfere in what they got going on right now.
How many more fights you think you got left? If you had to guess, you'd be what? You'd be about to be 37, 36?
36.
36. Okay. 2, 3.
I don't know, man. I'm healthy as could be.
Yeah.
I'm healthy as could be, man. I probably can fight till I'm 45. Yeah, but at the same time, I always said I want to retire at 33. I always said I want to retire from boxing. I never wanted boxing to retire me, so boxing has definitely been good to me. I'm gonna retire on top.
So for you, it's all about legacy and money at this point.
100%. My legacy is already set in stone.
Yeah.
Before, when you look at my career, I was already going to the Hall of Fame without Spence. That's the only thing I didn't accomplish yet is the Hall of Fame. There's nothing in boxing that Terrence Crawford haven't accomplished.
Yeah, you made history. You're undisputed 2-division champion.
I'm talking about without Spence. So now that that fight have happened, and now I made history again. Now what?
It's about the money, man. It's Spence. Right. It's Spence Crawford 2 a mega fight. I don't know if that's a mega fight anymore, but that's your fault.
It is what it is, man. We gonna figure it out. Mm-hmm. That's one thing we is gonna do. Mm-hmm. We're gonna figure it out, and if not, then it is what it is. I had my moment.
Wait on Canelo at 158.
All right.
That's the fight.
All right.
Who you got, Red? I'm just gonna sit back and observe.
Now you shut up.
I'm gonna sit back and observe.
Well, we'll see next time he comes. He's probably gonna take your chair again. It's the only person to take it.
The champ can sit in the chair. The champ can sit in the chair.
For sure.
Well, I appreciate you for coming and joining us. Appreciate you so much. I still offered you. I ain't got $30 million, but if you take a little extra, you just want to
man. Why would he punch somebody for free at this point?
Check one time.
No sense at this
one time. It just might be gratification. One time,
He's the champ. He's the guy. Like we know this already.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's Terrence Crawford. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Thank you, brother.
For sure.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest co-host, Roxy Romeo, with us.
Yes.
All right, and let's get to the rumors.
Hello.
I say Roxy.
This is the Rumor Report.
It's Roxy Romeo.
Roxy been iHeart Mafia all these years.
I say Roxy.
If you want to know if something is like cool or if it's hip, the only way that you're going to know is if somebody from the culture, the black culture, co-signs it.
On the Breakfast Club. Turn it up.
All right, so definitely well-deserved. Big congratulations going out to Nas and Lil Wayne. Both have been inducted into Billboard's Hip Hop Hall of Fame. Yes, and they did give speeches, so let's see what Lil Wayne had to say about it.
Thank you. First of all, of course, you already know, got to give thanks to the man above. Also, those that we lost, those that we wish were here, we thank you as well. And to my fans, I think I worded it the best way when I say I ain't without you. This is for y'all. Y'all as in my fans, y'all as in the people in the crowd, my supporters, those that work with me, those that work for me, those that work around me, those that work like me. This is for us. Just another footnote. I ain't stopping. They told me what time to be here. I was in the studio. They told me when I could leave, I'll be going back to the studio. So, thank you. I love you all.
What is Billboard's Hip Hop Hall of Fame? Is that different than?
I never heard of it till now.
Oh,
but yeah, any Hip Hop Hall of Fame that don't got Lil Wayne and Nas in it is not valid. So drop on the clues bombs for Lil Wayne and Nas. You got Nas speech too?
Yep, Nas as well.
I never won awards in the 90s. First of all, I want to say thank you, Billboard, before I get into all of that. Thank you, Billboard. This is cool. 49 years old. I'm about to turn 50 along with hip-hop, man. I didn't get into it for awards. We got into it because we love the art form. So I want to thank you all for getting awards at 49. Not when I was 29. Y'all motherfuckers was cheap. But I appreciate you. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I stayed away from award shows back then. I thought that was the devil. I ain't gonna lie. But it ain't. You make it what it is.
Award shows are the devil until you start winning those awards.
Well, they said the Billboard Hip Hop Hall of Fame is new. They said they recently introduced it. One of our producers said, I just never heard of it. I wonder who else is a part of it.
Hey, listen, any Hip Hop Hall of Fame, Lil Wayne and Nas are first ballot unanimous Hall of Famers. But what I love about both of them, they're showing that it does get greater later. Like that's why, as much as folks like to say hip hop is a young man's game, one of the criteria is to being a great now, to be considered a legend, is longevity. How long can you be around? Because we've seen so many people have 20 and 30 year runs. So that's what it's about, longevity.
Absolutely.
What other Hip Hop Hall of Fame exists?
I don't know. I really don't know. But, you know, I just wonder who else is in there. If LL Cool J is in there. If Run DMC is in there. If, you know, NWA, Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube is in there. I did. Nothing came up. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, really? All right. Well, we'll look into it. So I love this story because, as you guys may know, I'm a mama and a recent mama of my second child. My daughter's 8 months old. Rihanna. She is pregnant and, you know, she leaves no stone unturned. She just launched a maternity collection for Savage by Fenty. She has been the sexiest mama, I swear, like that I have seen in a long time. I definitely was not that type of pregnant woman. showing everything off and it was never me. I was wearing oversized clothes. She was wearing undersized clothes, but she looks amazing. But it doesn't have a lot of pieces. It's only like a nursing bra right now and a big oversized shirt that says "Make more babies." But I'm sure it will expand.
Yeah, I saw the nursing bra ad.
Yeah, so congratulations to Rihanna. If
That's
I was
dope.
going to have another baby, which will not happen, I would buy something.
Why won't it
Oh,
happen?
no. We done. Shop is closed.
Jesus.
That is it.
You sure?
Two babies. I'm good.
Not one more?
No. We're good. We're good. We're good. Yeah, shop is closed. We're done.
Hey, if you say it, I believe it.
Yeah. Moving on.
But just Charlamagne and I
She
said
said
that. Charlamagne and I said that before. Now I have 6 years for.
No, that don't mean nothing. I gotta get a vasectomy. I'm actually past due for a vasectomy. I've been supposed to get a vasectomy. My wife Ben told me to get a vasectomy.
So both of you, were you trying to stop before you had these other ones?
Yeah, I think I was good. I think we were good with 3. But then, like I said, you
just keep
you don't
shooting
make
the club
these
up.
plans.
Yep.
I didn't even shoot the club up on purpose. But, that COVID year was rough.
Mine is the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
That COVID year, we was in the house, so.
You had to do something to pass the time.
It happened, yeah.
And mine was every year the iHeartRadio Music Festival. We go out to Vegas and get drunk and come back pregnant.
You know what's so crazy? My last 2.
Come back pregnant.
My last 2 were born around the iHeart Festival.
So both of you.
Mine was 9 months after iHeartRadio Festival.
Mine is on the week. Mine is on the actual weekend. I've actually missed iHeart Music Festival
Twice.
Well, guys, it's coming up. Envy.
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tory Lanez, an update with him. Of course, he was sentenced to 10 years. Well, he has been given credit towards that 10-year sentence, 305 days served with his house arrest and all of that. So he gets almost an entire year knocked off the 10 years.
That ain't saying much. I mean, that's good. It's better than doing the whole 10, but you're still going to have to do 7, 8?
7.
So that was
with the 85%.
85% with good behavior.
Like 7,
so
8.
that's the rule?
Well, he'll get 85% of the 10 years, and then he'll knock off a year for good behavior. So he'll have about 7 years left.
Okay. Well, he is going to request a bail pending an appeal. Of course, they're going to appeal, but most likely that is not going to be granted.
Yeah, I think they declined him the first time he tried, right?
Sure did.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, good luck, Tory Lanez. I wish you nothing but the best.
Do you?
Not really, but try to be PC
People
here.
just be saying cliche stuff for no reason.
Wish you the best.
Roxy knows she don't feel that.
We're praying for you.
What?
It'll be okay.
I did not expect him to get 10 years. I will say that. I was surprised he got that much.
Hey, man, consequences have actions.
Agreed.
No, that's not how it goes. Consequences have repercussions. No, there's consequences to your actions. That's what I was trying to say.
Every cause has an effect.
Yes, there's consequences to your actions. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, that was the rumor report. We got the People's Choice Mix coming up. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Let's go.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Our audible pick of the day is Snoop Dogg's From the Streets to the Suites. Here's Snoop's journey from the streets of Long Beach to hip-hop legend. Listen when you sign up for a free trial at audible.com/Snoop.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We have Roxy Romeo here. She's our guest, our special guest. You driving back to Philly or are you staying out here?
Well, I still got one more day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are you coming back tomorrow or are you staying out here for the night?
No. Oh, I'm definitely not driving back.
No.
Oh, no.
You act like it's a 6-hour drive. This is
but
2 hours.
2.5 hours to drive and come. No.
Yeah, that means you would have to get up at 2 in the morning.
Exactly. No, I came yesterday evening.
Yep.
And I will be leaving tomorrow.
So what you doing in the city today? Anything?
I have no idea. What should I do?
There's not much to do. You know what you can go do? You can go to the Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Public Library to go see the Book of Hov.
So I have family visiting from Trinidad right now, and so I think we're gonna come back to New York for a whole weekend, and we're gonna include that. So that's why I'm not gonna do it right now.
Okay. See, that's also why New York needs more things to do. That's why I hope that Jay-Z and Rock Nation get granted the license for the casino, because then there will be a lot more to do in the middle of Times Square, because it's not just going to be the casino in the middle of Times Square. It's going to be other things there. You know what I mean? It's going to be other, like how we talked about, what if the 4040 was in the casino, or what if there was a comedy club in the casino? Like there's other things that's going to be in the casino.
That's right.
So what do you don't do anything while you're in the city? What do you do for fun?
Just eat. I eat. But I usually got the kids with me. So if you had the kids with me, I'll tell you go to American Dream, where they got the rides and roller coasters in the water park.
Is
and all
that the really, really big mall?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And it's like maybe 10 minutes away, 15 minutes through the tunnel.
Okay.
A lot of stuff for kids. I go with the kids, but if it's date night, it's usually a movie, a play. Take the wife out, go roller skating. Like we just do cool, corny stuff that we love.
It's crazy how it's really nothing to do in New York City.
And I can't even imagine that. Like when you think of New York, like when I think of New York, like, and from the times that I've visited, it just has like this crazy, crazy energy that you don't get anywhere else. And the city is alive.
I believe that. I believe the energy is still there.
City's there. Like I was in the city this weekend, and there was a lot of people are out and about. The energy was there. It's just I don't really see as much things. Like there used to be a lot of stuff for us to do. There's the ice cream spot where my kids love to go, where they show like the making of candy and ice cream, which is really cool. All the kids love it. There's a lot of little things that kids, if you were with the kids, I would tell you. But, you know, it is what it is. But when we come back, positive notice, The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got our guest co-host, Roxy Romeo.
I know. You want to roll that R so bad.
But now it's time for positive note. Charlamagne.
Yes, I want to tell everybody too, man. Moncks Corner, South Carolina. Make sure that you join me this Saturday. I'll be doing my annual back to school giveaway and fish fry. Okay, so I'll be giving away backpacks and school supplies, and we have a fish fry, so it's free backpacks and school supplies, free food, free haircuts. And yeah, I'll be there from 12 to 3 p.m. at the Berkeley High School student parking lot, 406 West Main Street in Moncks Corner, South Carolina. You know how we do it every year, man. So I'll see you out there this weekend. All right. Now, the positive note is this: the secret to being wrong isn't to avoid being wrong. The secret is being willing to be wrong. And the secret is also realizing that wrong isn't fatal. Okay? I'm saying that because I was wrong about Earl Spence beating Terrence Crawford. Have a nice day.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?